Hello. So what we're gonna talk about right now is this like rising kind of group of people in this game that have really been just annoying me lately, man. Like, and it can't just be me. It can't just be me. And I wouldn't have any interest in like making a video about this at all if it was like not a thing, or if I didn't really feel like, I'm sure I'm gonna have some kind of a negative response from some people on this if I actually post this as a video. But there's some problems that we need to talk about that really need to be like addressed. As far as I'm mainly talking about the Mythic Plus community, but just kind of the player base like as a whole right now and like where things are. And we're gonna start it off by talking about Mythic Plus and the quote-unquote meta that seems to be required by a lot of people. So these people, when they make groups in Raider.io and they're doing like a 10 or a 12, maybe even a 13 or a 14, and they say, I need a blood DK. I need a blood DK. Do you even know why you need a blood DK? Like, really, do you even know why? Do you know what the spec does? Do you know why they are even majorly predominant in keys 15, 16, 17, 18 right now? Like, do you even know why? Are you aware of any other toolkits that any of the other tanks have? My guess would be probably no. And this mindset of, I need this quote-unquote meta tank because I want to push my keys. Or the little side note there, I just want to get carried because I don't want to do any work for the loot that I'm trying to get. And when you have, for example, like I'm playing right now, like what's my main? Obviously I'm a little biased, you know, and that's fine. A little biased is never like the worst thing. But I have two 30-second AoE CCs. Typhoon and Intimidating Roar. One is a fear, which has a damage cap on it, which means if I fear a mob on the outside of a pack, they're gonna sit there and do nothing for 3 seconds. Incapacitating Roar, if you don't have the talent that I have, will break instantly upon any damage that target receives. I have 20% at a minimum verse at all times. When I use my 2-minute on-use trinket, I have 30% verse. That's 30% more damage done and upwards of 15% reduced damage taken from all sources. Monks have a pretty solid toolkit for reducing the damage that they take. DHs, Warriors have a talent that most of them are taking from Mythic Plus right now. It's called, it adds more features into their last stand, which is a 3-minute cooldown. The talent brings it down to 2 minutes and makes it to where they literally take no melee damage from any source. And increases their health by like however much. I don't remember at the moment. Like, the point is that all of these tanks, every tank in the game right now is pushing plus 15 keys. Literally every single one. How many of each tank, you know, might vary. Not might, it does vary. But that's really just based on the amount of people that are playing the specs. Because of these people that have made videos, quote-unquote, ranking the tank specs on what's best and what's worse. And most of these ranking vids that came out right at or before launch. And guess what? Most of these guys weren't even able to play these tanks at 120. Which means, how much actual practical experience do they have? Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that DK tanks aren't fucking great right now. Because, in a literal sense, I mean, if you are doing 16, 17, 18 keys, yes, they are. If you are doing anything 15 and below, dude, after the fact of these people making the vids that they made, talking about Sco, J.P, like any of these guys, dude. They've all literally said any tank is good to push through 15s. So why are people still, quote unquote, requiring a DK for their plus 10s and their plus 12s and their 13s, even their 14s? Like, brings me back to my original point of like, do you even know why? Do you even know why? Which also leads into my next point of these guys that are saying 1100 IO required. Why are you requiring 1100 IO when your IO is like 8 to 900, maybe 1K? Why are you setting unrealistic requirements that you can't even meet yourself? Why is this? And this all leads into a point. Oh, hey, I didn't even see you fucking pulled that shit, dude. Jesus Christ. Okay. Sorry, I didn't see they pulled this. Why are you setting unrealistic requirements for dungeons that you can't even meet yourself? It's the same with RPG guys. Yaku, what up, man? I honestly don't even know, dude. I've signed up for RPGs a fair amount more often recently. I can't attest to that because I don't have whatever add-on or whatever it is that will show the rating that they have. But all of this kind of ties into the same point. So far we've talked about why do you need a blood DK for your plus 10, plus 12, plus 13 keys. Why do you need a blood DK? Do you even know? Why are you setting IO requirements that are either above yourself or maybe right where you are? But if you see a tank in queue that has done the key that you're trying to do in time on either tyrannical or fortified, if you see a tank that has literally done a key with similar affixes in time, why would you not invite that tank? Or at least send a whisper to said tank saying, okay, hey, like, I'm a little questionable. Do you have a route? Do you have a plan for this run? And hopefully they'll say yes, because they have this little handy add-on called Method Dungeon Tools. Let's look at Temple right here where I'm at right now. I have a route already set that, look, is at 100% on the dot. I need a rogue for this route, or to have my party have invis pots. But, dude, literally 100% on the dot. And I have done this route multiple times. Why would you not invite any tank class that has much less done the key that you're doing in time, but you ask them if they have a route, and if they say yes, and guess what? They join party, ask them to link their route. And if they really are like a decent tank and worth your time, they'll link that route because they want to be a good tank and they're doing the planning necessary to be able to do your key for you in time, as long as, you know, the party is doing the right stuff, handling the mechanics in an appropriate manner. Which also ties into the next point. If you're doing like plus 10s, you know, if you're like friends, you know each other, and you don't feel like hopping a disc or this or that, or if it's like a freehold, maybe an Ataldazar, but Ataldazar usually requires some skips, especially on a fortified week if you really want to do that shit in time, the 2 or 3 chest. Why are you playing an MMO if you don't want to be social? Why are you playing an MMO if you don't want to talk in disc, if you don't want to talk to people, if you don't want to interact with people? Why are you playing a massively multiplayer online game if you don't want to socialize with people? Like, there's plenty of solo content available in the game for people like you. There's plenty of it. And there's even, guess what? +5 keys, +7 keys, +8 keys, +9 keys. Keys that don't require like any kind of real coordination for what you're trying to do here. There's plenty of content for you. And guess what? There's also plenty of other games for you to not have to deal with the people on an MMO who want to be social. And if you don't want to be social, that ties me back to my other point of why are you playing an MMO? For real, like, it's a real question. Let's see in chat right now. How many of you are playing an MMO and are actually on a stream right now and don't want to be social in the game that you're playing? Be honest. Like, I'll wait a moment. I'd like to see some responses in chat as I soak all of these beans, which is fine because it's just a heroic. It's not a big deal. I'll soak all this. LFR heroes and casuals who want carries and just jump into raid or dungeons without knowing their classes or getting around the place. Yeah. So they want to get carried. They want to whine about things being too hard for them and want rewards handed to them for not doing anything. Yeah, I don't get it myself. I'm doing TOS 10 right now, nodding at everything you say, Lois. A friend of mine has literally me and 2 other friends on his list and is being a dick to everyone else. I'd like some more friends to play with him. While personally, I like the game and enjoy to play, but people in game made me want to quit, like you experienced just now. Dude, if you, like, I'm sure, I don't think this video is honestly going to get seen by a lot of people. But for those of you that it does get seen by, I'm sure some people are going to react negatively and say, oh, I'm going to play, you know, I'm going to play the game if I fucking want to, dude. Fuck you. If I want to play an MMO and I don't want to be social, you know, that's my fucking choice. And yes, it is, dude. Yes, it is. It is your choice. But don't be surprised when you join fucking Keys and they ask you to hop in disc and they fucking ditch you when you don't want to hop in disc. Or, even better, you're trying to make your own key and then somebody links a Discord and you say, I'm not gonna get in that, and your key gets fucking scuffed, which I honestly hope it does. I don't like being an asshole, dude, but I hope the fact that you don't want to hop in comms and be a team player, I really hope your key gets scuffed, dude. And most of the time is going to anyway. Guess what? Because communication is required for a team effort game and team effort content. Raids, Mythic Plus, PvP. If you don't want to get in Discord, don't expect to do anything. Don't expect to receive anything. Guess what? There are still kinds of content in this game right now where you will not get shit if you don't want to be a team player. And I really, like, I understand how Blizz... Are they not grabbing the orb? They're not grabbing the orb. Alright, that's fine. There are plenty of games out there for people like you. I'm gonna try to... Hell yeah, that mage. There are plenty of games out there for people like you who don't want to be social. And I fully realize that Blizz is kind of creating a system of content that is deterring you from having to be any kind of a team player. You can queue into Dungeon Finder. You can queue into Raid Finder. You can literally sit there and talk shit the entire run and still get loot and not be a team player. Oh shit. Oh shit, son. There are plenty of systems in this game, Titan Forging and Warp Forging included, which, you know, it's mostly downsides, some upsides, but the upsides don't outweigh any of the downsides by any stretch of the imagination. Coach, I'm open. Oh no, okay, he's not gonna throw it. That's fine. Like, I realize that Blizz has kind of steered the game in a certain direction as far as what you necessarily quote-unquote have to do to get the rewards that you want. And Titan Forging has really fucked that whole thing up. It's really fucked up the community aspect of things as far as content in this game goes. And it's really unfortunate. But that doesn't mean that you should be sitting here trying to do like 10s, 11s, 12s, 13s, 14s, 15s, and telling people that you don't want to hop in disc because you're not in the mood, you don't feel like it, you don't want to. Guess what? If you don't feel like it and if you don't want to, maybe you should be playing another game right now. Maybe you should be doing some other content. Instead of plaguing people with this attitude of, alright, I'm gonna play an MMO, but I don't want to deal with anybody else. Fuck the way the Blizz is trying to make the game right now. Fuck the way that people are being right now. If any sort of community is going to come back to this game, we are the ones who are going to make it happen. Until we get some kind of an announcement, or until we start seeing things about next expansion, or announcements about Titan Forging and Warforging and LFR being fucking removed from the game. I haven't even touched that shit this X-Pack. Even on my alts, dude, I refuse to do it, dude. I refuse. I'm not touching LFR, dude. I'm not. Because I'm not going to sit there and mindlessly mongoloid my way through some content that I should be doing on a more challenging level. Nonetheless, be doing in a group with communication and teamwork and, you know, sharing some loot, having a good time, enjoying a social experience, enjoying some teamwork, people working together, communicating, and getting shit done together. That is like the core of an MMO, and honestly the core of just like the world in general right now, dude. It's still at the core. As disconnected as we've become, that shit's still here, man. It's still here. And I personally don't want to let that go. I don't want to let that go. I want to hold on to that. I'm not religious. I don't really, you know, I'm not going to say I don't believe in anything. But I definitely still put my faith in people. My faith is in people more than anything else. I'd much rather put my faith in a tangible, not necessarily on WoW, but I'd rather put my faith in a person than anything else, because that person can love me, they can hate me, they can talk to me, they can yell at me, they can reason with me, they can work with me, and we can make some shit happen together. And that is one of like the fundamental things about just like life in general, dude. People are getting so disconnected from the way things are that we're like losing touch on so many levels that like it honestly kind of hurts me. And I'm not just talking about WoW, but it's like part of the core of the problem. People are so disconnected from each other that they would rather sit there by themselves and sit there and like bitch and moan and expect some shit to be handed to them instead of hopping into any kind of comms platform, hopping into a phone call, like even chat. Like, dude, you would really rather sit there by yourself and bitch and moan and do some shit by your lonely goddamn self, instead of being a team player and wanting to like sit there and communicate and connect with some people. Like, it's really a shame. So before I go into like too much else, I kind of want to end this here, because I don't want to sit here and like bitch and moan. I just wanted to... I tried to record this earlier, but I was a little annoyed. I wasn't really in the, like, the right mindset to really like reasonably talk about this. But like, it's becoming a problem, and it's affecting the game in a negative way, and is kind of like a problem in general, like even IRL, dude. Like, there's a lot of aspects of our lives that could be improved with just a little bit of communication and a little bit of teamwork and a little bit of like empathy, and I'm sure there are some other words and things that we could come up with, but in the essence of not wanting to drag this out, I'm just gonna end it here. And I'm sure some people are gonna disagree with me, and most of those people that are gonna disagree with me are probably gonna be people that they really just want to be spoon-fed things. They don't want to have to earn anything. They don't want to have to work for anything. They don't want to have to like be a part of a team to earn anything substantial. And as unfortunate as that is, I mean, it is what it is. So, I'd like to end it on a more positive note, but there's not really, there's not like a positive end to that. It sucks, and I'd like to see that and this change. I'd like to see people working together. I'd like to see people talking, getting together, communicating. I said it multiple times, but working together to accomplish some shit. Because that really is one of the coolest fucking things that we could do as a community, as people, as a society, is coming together to make some shit fucking happen and get some shit done. It's a video game, I know this, but it ties into it all. So, thank you again for watching. I don't think a lot of people are gonna watch this, whatever. But if you do, I hope it kind of resonated with you. Please leave your comments down below. I'd really like to see some feedback on this. I'd really like to hear your opinions and see how other people feel about this. And if you want to disagree or call me a softy douche, you know, that's fine. You know, fuck you, that's fine. But it kind of makes me sad sometimes, and I'd really like to see the community aspect come back to WoW. Even if the devs don't want to give it, we can bring it back. We can bring it back into the game. If they don't want to give it to you, dude, fucking make it happen yourself, dude. Don't rely on anybody else to get anything. You can make shit happen yourself. So make it happen. And you know, I'll be on stream. I'll be here. Feel free to swing by the stream, voice your opinions, hang out, chill, watch some keys. I'm doing tons of keys, as many as I can get invited to when I'm not playing with friends and people that need a DK for the fucking plus 10s because they want to get carried. Y'all take it easy, and I'll see you soon.